Welcome to Beginning of Speech. I'm Fred Hunt. That's Ted Cole. Ted Coley, what the hell is this right here? Oh my God, it's Joe Kaufman. Joe Kaufman's back! Yay!
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. Did you get your wings, Angel Joe?
I got him out on parole.
Oh man, I don't want to start out this way, but Donald Trump. Did you hear what Donald Trump said this week?
No.
Donald Trump, one of his political enemies, died, and he laid in state this week, right? And his wife took over his congressional seat, right? And she voted to impeach Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump said, you know what? Your husband would be ashamed of you. He's probably looking up at you from hell disapprovingly.
He said that?
Yeah, yeah. And so all I could think of is it's one of the funniest things I ever heard, but you can't say that like out loud if you're the president. So when you're talking, did you hear about that?
No, that's funny.
Oh, he got in a lot of trouble. And like Ronald Reagan's daughter came out and said, whatever happened to civility in politics? And I'm like, well, listen, that's just funny. He's saying this guy who was in Congress for 60 years is looking up at us from hell.
What's that guy's name?
John Dingell. He is a congressman on the south side of Detroit. Yeah. And his wife took his seat. I guess she ran on his platforms and said that she doesn't want an apology from him, that, you know, basically she's not going to stoop down to his level, but he needs to learn how to act like an adult.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like, too late now. But anyhow, so we're Beacon of Speech. We're talking about, and now, Joe, you cannot stay for our whole Beacon of Speech.
No,
you've had enough of us.
Yeah. Short but sweet.
But let me tell you, we have not forgotten about you. You're still on the website. You saw the picture. Wasn't that nice of us to compare you to a Soviet dictator?
Yeah.
And and we have not forgotten about you on the website. Every once in a while, I'll throw in on the blog that Joe Kaufman would be very disappointed in us. You know, because you're not here to keep us in line.
No.
And we had this topic picked out, but I said I'm saving this for when we see Joe Kaufman. 2 weeks ago, I saw, it was on The Blaze. Are you familiar with The Blaze? Glenn Beck?
No.
Glenn Beck had a story on The Blaze, and they said that employers are trying to make the employees more active and more productive at their jobs, right? How do you make employees more productive? Joe Kaufman. Now, do you remember when I worked at Company X with you, and our boss went out and he went into the garage and he said, you know what, the biggest problem in our company is there's no grooves in the garage, right? And you remember how I went crazy saying I could come up with 1,000 things and not come up with there's no grooves in the garage, right?
Yeah.
So pretend like you're the boss. You're the boss at your company, right? How can you improve your company? One of the top ways you can improve your company. Just throw out any idea you want. How can you get employees to work harder?
Pay them more.
No. No. Is he warm?
No.
No. How do you get your employees to be more productive?
Give them more work to do.
No, you are not playing the game right. This is your business. How do you get your lazy goddamn employees to work?
Let them do whatever they want.
No.
I don't know what.
No. This is what me and Ted saw. It's on The Blaze, right? So what they found is a lot of employees...
Give them stupid job titles.
A lot of employees like to hang out in the bathroom and hide from work. And they like, instead of pooping at home, they like to go to work and poop because the company is paying you to poop.
Yeah.
Right? Well, how do you solve that solution?
Get rid of the bathrooms.
Close.
Toilet paper.
Close. A company came up and they're marketing this to Fortune 500 companies where they're slanted toilets. Okay? So what you do is, say you got to take a crap, you got to take a massive dump, or you got diarrhea, right? So you go into the toilet and you sit down and you sit on the slanted toilet. It slants forward.
Oh,
right?
so you can't fall asleep?
Yeah. So you sit on the toilet and you do your business, right? So you're crapping, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, right? And then after 2 or 3 minutes, you know, you're done, you flush the toilet, you're like, screw it, I don't want to go back to work. But because the toilet is leaning forward, your legs are now taking the pressure and not your ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
you're not sitting.
It is a slanted toilet, so you can't sit there. It's like me going on that wall. And did you ever do that in school where they put you against the wall and make you do the leg exercises? So it's the premise is your leg is doing all the work. Your ass is doing
Well,
the
yeah, 'cause you gotta
work.
hold yourself up. You're taking a dump.
So
Well,
yes,
they can't have those in all facilities because they're gonna have to have handicap ones,
No. This is
right?
according to this.
So if somebody comes in that's handicapped, they
If
can't
you're
use that slanted
handicapped,
toilet.
all you need
I would
is
just go use the handicap toilet all the time.
no, in handicap spots you still have the toilets leaning forward, but you get rails. So you go plop, plop, fizz, fizz, you're handicapped, and then you kind of handicap up, and then you hop on your wheelchair or your walker.
Oh, I guess just wait too long. People falling over. I lost my balance and I fell on the crapper. I'm silly. Oh, that's a good idea. I get paid.
Would you have ever thought of that in your life?
Oh, what, a slanted toilet at work?
A slanted toilet at work.
No, it's like, really? Oh my god.
And the
You know,
article...
sooner or later they're going to make you like pay to use the bathroom. Then have like a dollar slot on the door you have to slide $1 in. Slanted toilet, so you gotta, oh my god.
And so the article we're reading, and they're like talking about evil corporations, right? And I'm like, you know what? I would have never thought of a slanted toilet. I got to find out what Joe Coffin would think.
You know what they should do is make it so that the toilet seat is rigged to like the time clock. So as soon as you sit down, it punches you out.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't punch you back in until you
I would
stand
just
up.
get rid of the toilet and just have a hole in the floor.
You're making it worse and worse. Me and you are working at Joe Kaufman's company, right?
That's gonna be
We
my toilet.
go there. Joe goes, no toilet. You see that hole? You prop your back against the wall like the high school
There's a
exercise.
hole, no crap.
Yeah, you dump it into the hole. and
Don't
then
miss
you
a hole, you're cleaning it up.
Oh, Joe Kaufman, don't say that.
give you a coffee can.
I gotta tell you this story. I'll talk around it. Where I work, don't say where I work, right? I go out, I don't use the main restroom, use the secondary restroom where the mechanics are,
Yeah.
right? What happens is somebody who usually works the main bathroom, she doesn't like using the main bathroom, so she goes out and uses the mechanics bathroom like I do, right?
Yeah.
Mechanics have kept following her, and she said she doesn't want to touch the toilet, so she hovers. So they said they're trying to ban her from their toilet because every time they walk in there, there's shit and piss on the seat because she hovers. And so this is another magical problem. And I'm like, who knew there was
She's hovering. Why doesn't she just lift the thing up then?
No,
The
because she doesn't want to touch it because of all the disgusting people there.
Get tissue, lift the seat up, and just hover over the toilet.
I know they have
all over the seat.
Listen, they have the paper covers. She doesn't want to use it because.
Why don't they just get her back and do it before she gets in there? Well, she don't sit on the toilet seat anyway.
They said that they're getting to a point where they're going to start going in and taking pictures every time they see her walk in. They run in and take pictures afterwards.
That's disgusting. That is literally disgusting.
So when I say there's a new set of problems wherever you go, I did not know this was a real problem. Did you ever have this problem at Company X where you work at?
No, not yet.
So is this the kind of thing that the janitor would have to take care of?
The
then?
janitor has to take care of, because what happens is the mechanics turn around and say it's not our job because they're in the union. Call the janitor. Janitor can't get over. Well, you either clean the shit off the seat, or you got to wait for the janitor to come over and clean the shit off
I
the
would
seat.
make her go clean it up. Go clean your
Well, if
crap
you tell her employee X to clean the shit off the seat, and then you don't have proof that she shit on it, right? Now you're harassing your coworker, and she can go file a union grievance against you.
Oh, I would just rip the toilet seat out of the toilet. Just have the toilet there.
So this is the new set of problems that I'm dealing with. So between the toilet story about the leaning toilet and my toilet story, I'm like, how hard is it just to go to work and...
I could see that, because sometimes I'll sit on the toilet and I'm playing with my phone, which is disgusting. And I'll put my phone on. I'm the same way. I don't want to go back to work. Sometimes I'll leave my head against
What?
the wall, take a little nap.
Well, that's why the picture that we saw in the Blaze, right, Ted? The picture we saw in the Blaze, it had a guy, he had his feet down, and he's got his pants down, right? Let me undo my shirt so I can lean over. Guy's leaning over, and he's on his phone. And that's the picture, and that's what they want to stop. They don't want you leaning forward and being on your phone. They want you to do your business, get the F off that toilet, and get back to work.
Sit there and enjoy like 35, 45 minutes. Get over like a 5-gallon bucket, stick your feet up, relax. I mean, come on, you need your little nap.
I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I'll tell Ted this. Or I think Ted knows this one. I used to go to Allstate in the morning. You remember taking roll carts to Allstate?
Yeah.
Right? Go to Allstate, and I had to get there before 10 o'clock. Why I have to get there before 10? Because I'd have to use the bathroom. They had an employee who worked from every day at 10 o'clock. He would like see the clock. He would go out to the dock, and he would sit on the toilet, and then he'd come out between 11:40, 11:45.
Yeah.
That's the only bathroom that vendors were allowed to use, right? Well, he didn't want to get caught in the bathroom sitting there for 45 minutes, so he'd go out and use the vendor bathroom. If you went between 10 and 10:45, you didn't get to use the bathroom. So you had to hurry up and use it. Now, did you ever run into that problem when you went to Allstate?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I did. Did you ever have that?
I don't remember. I don't remember yesterday. You expect me to remember that?
I remember that because I said, if you know, because I said to the Allstate guy, I said, if you know he goes in at 10 o'clock and he comes out at 10:40, 10:45, why don't you say something, right? And they're like, what do you want me to say? The guy hides on the dock and shits for 45 minutes instead of working? He goes, I don't want to be a rat. He goes, but we know it happens, right? So now you're the jerk. Say you turn him in, right?
Yeah.
Joe Kaufman, you're like, hey, that guy's taking a shit for 45 minutes.
Why don't you just use the ones in the hallway? I used to use those.
I didn't use one as a hallway because when I tried to use the one in the hallway, they told me that those were not vendor bathrooms.
Tell me you don't care like I did. You're like, I gotta crap. It's either I'm gonna go here on the floor, or I'm gonna go in there. You choose. You choose where you want it. So, you know what they said? Go use the bathroom.
Listen, when I started at Company X, okay, I had stomach problems, intestinal problems, okay, because I was lactose intolerant and I drank milk all the time. I didn't know that's what was doing the
You should
numbers.
have just did what I used to do when I used to be a service tech.
What's that?
Just grab an empty 5-gallon bucket and you use that. Hey, when you're on the road and you're on call for like 14 hours straight and there's not a bathroom in sight, what are you gonna do? Crap your pants? And you know what's the funny part is like how I found that out was like the other service technician told me. Because I'm like, man, what are you doing 3 in the morning when everything's closed? You're running around, you try to find a bathroom. He's like, just grab a 5-gallon bucket. He's like, you can even rip a toilet seat off and put a toilet seat on there. You can sit on the toilet seat on a 5-gallon bucket. I'm like, right in the back of your truck? He's like, yeah, you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm like, dude, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. He's like, and then what do you do with the, I'm like, what do you do with the empty bucket? What do you do with the bucket when you're done with it? He's like, if you're in Cleveland, I was like, just throw it out in your truck. It's Cleveland, who cares? I'm like, that's nice.
I'm not going to use his name. Do you remember my cousin we talk about once in a while?
Yeah.
He is no longer at his previous employer. He's now working at Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have read many stories at Amazon that they have to work. They have to make 200 stops a day. They have to pee in buckets because they're not allowed to use the bathrooms. Blah blah blah. All that other fun stuff.
So I was just talking about using the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, and that's what reminded me. But when I talked to Cousin X, right, I said, "Hey, is that true? Do you really see people, with pee bottles?" He goes, "That's an urban legend, right?" He goes, "Amazon is a great place to work," and I'm like, "Oh no!" And he said that it's just high paced, fast paced, and he said that when you walk in, say you quit your job, whatever your job is, and you go work at Amazon, you get health insurance the day you walk through the door, right?
Okay.
And so he loves Amazon, and he goes, that pee bottle story.
So what does he do
is
there?
an urban. What was that?
What does he do there?
I don't know, because since he got the job, he has worked every single day. He hasn't had one day off.
So he doesn't drive then, or does he drive?
I don't know, because I haven't been able to talk to him.
Oh.
He literally walked in the door in November, and has worked every single day until today.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's fast paced. And say, Fred, how do you know he's working today? Because when I talk to him, he goes, I'll catch you past the new year. I work every day through the end of the year, except for Christmas. And I said, oh, okay. I said, you mean Monday through Friday? I said every day through the end of the year. And I'm like, oh, well,
Kinda
that's...
like where I work now.
Yeah, and I said, well, that sounds a little more than fast. Fred, you got to have the right attitude. And again, when you are younger or when you want to, show you want to do good, you will work every day at your job, right?
Yeah.
But how soon do you think that Cousin X will get tired of working every single day of the year?
Soon.
And he told me, he's like, listen, the pee bottle story is not true at all. Look, where my workstation starts, because I don't know if he's in the truck or if he's inside, he just says work. He goes, there's restrooms all over the place. Urban legend. He goes, I can't believe that these stories are going on.
They have slanted toilets there.
That's going to be the
Or it's Amazon, you're on the go 24/7, it's just a hole, so you just go and you just drop and keep on going.
In my head, Amazon's going to be the first company to do that. So, and again, maybe when we make some predictions, we will do that. We don't have Joe for the whole show.
They're going to have the Amazon pants where they have the little flap in the back. So you just flapping, you sit down and take care of your business really quick, and you get up and you go.
We do not have Joe for the whole show. He's got to go soon.
Yeah.
Before you go.
You two, some people have to go to work.
Yeah, I know. Before you go, we want to at least make 1 or 2 predictions before you go at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay. A little bit longer, but
well, we're gonna hold you to some. Now we could talk about boring Fred stuff, right? Or we could talk about stuff up Joe's alley. You want to talk about stuff up Joe's alley?
What's up my alley? I want to see what you think's up my alley.
The Cleveland Browns.
See, you're wrong. Cleveland Browns are up my alley. I don't even like the Cleveland Browns anymore.
The Cleveland Browns are. Oh, I can't see who he's got. Oh yeah, okay. Because it's all black. I couldn't see in the monitor there. The Browns are 6-9.
Yeah, I gave up on them.
Okay, they made.
I didn't even know they were. I forgot they were playing today. I forgot it was Sunday. I worked so much.
Listen.
Then my phone gives me updates. I'm like, oh, the Browns are playing. Look, I'm like, oh, look, they're getting beat again. Surprising. Did you watch it today?
I watched literally 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns right now are 6-9. In theory, they could beat 1-14 Cincinnati. In theory, right? That would make them 7-9. Last year they were 7-8-1. 7-8-1 and 7-9 really are not that bad compared to 1-15.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's my question to Joe Kaufman. We're in the prediction business, right? We might not see you for a long time.
Probably another year.
Okay? So here is predictions. Hopefully I see you personally within a year. But anyhow, the Browns. I'm gonna make you make predictions for next year. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna put Joe, Ted. Oh, I gotta open it up. We'll do Joe Kaufman, Ted, and Fred. Okay. Now, first thing we're gonna do is.
Looks like I'm a little person. Look how short I am.
Is Kitchens gonna be the coach?
No.
Oh wait, hey, I haven't written it down yet. Is Kitchens coach?
And I'll tell you why my answer is no.
Joe Kaufman says no. Ted, do you think he's going to be coach?
What, next year?
Next year.
I'll say yes.
I think he is too. So now I want to know why you think that they're going to fire him after 1 year.
He will start next. He'll be coach next year.
Okay.
But they're going to go in a downward.
Oh no!
Baker Mayfield's going to get hurt. Odell Beckham's going to start crap in the locker room. It's going to be chaotic. They're going to lose like 6 games in a row. They're going to be 0-6 in the beginning of next year, and they're going to have enough, and he's going to get fired.
Oh no! Okay, now I got to put no with an asterisk. Okay, no.
It's going to be chaotic next year, I think.
Will be fired.
Middle of the year.
Fired.
In the middle of the year.
Middle of 2020. You are really bumming me out right now. Middle of 2020. Okay. What do you think next year's record will be based on who we have and all that other fun stuff? Do you think we're going to go 8-8 next year?
No,
I can already say if you say they're going to go 0-6, they're not going to go 8.
I say they win like 5 games.
Oh my God! Joe, don't say that. Oh man! All
I
right,
say
Joe.
5 games.
5 and 11.
Yeah.
Oh my! Maybe we shouldn't have done this because he's really bumming me out. Ted, what do you think their record will be next year?
Next
Good Freddie
year?
Kitchens.
I'll say 9-7.
Oh my God, you got hope. You don't think it's going to be chaotic next year? I think that locker room and all the players, I think they're going to have enough.
I agree with Ted. I think they're going to be 500. I think they're literally going to have the same record again. I think it's going to be like 8-8 or 7-9. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I think what Kitchens is going to do, like a good manager, he's going to be like, "Whoa, don't fire me! Don't fire me! Don't fire me!" You know who fucked up or screwed up? I'm trying not to use the F word. You know who screwed up? The running backs coach and the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator and the linebackers coach and the special teams coach. I think he is going to clean house to save his job.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say he's firing. I'm gonna put he will fire a minimum of 5 coaches before next year. Ted, do you want to add anything to your thing?
No.
Okay, so we'll open this next year in case we don't get Joe until next year. Now, Joe, I keep hoping, and you can get a good laugh at this too. I keep hoping to get a cash infusion and get somebody to pay us to do Beacon of Speech.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Like a lot of money. Like $100 million.
The problem is that Company X, where you work, is a dying business model. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
I keep thinking we'll get a radio job. Do you think radio is a dying business model?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, see, Joe believes in us. Okay? And at the end of the day, me and Ted joke about this all the time during the year. Most of the time, me and Ted, we talk about classic rock and sports. Would you say that's fair?
Mm-hmm.
And I always joke around that one day I'll die because I seem to have very bad luck this year. And that Ted will take over Beacon of Speech. And then once I'm dead, you two are going to make money on it. You guys, yeah, that'll work for you.
That works for me.
Thanks, Joe. And so in my head, and like I said, once I'm dead, Ted can throw dirt on me. He'd be like, "You know what? I never liked any of the outlines Fred did. We're making money. We're doing the same thing."
We could just change it all around.
You
Not
can
even
change it
call
all.
Beacon of Speech, change everything.
You can literally change everything, steal my laptop, and say, "You know what? Beacon of Speech is stupid. We're going to call this Screw You Guys." And that's going to be
the. I like that title.
Well, I'm telling you, if we get bought, which we won't get bought, they'll just say, "Hey, come do our thing." They'll be like, "But we don't like the blog, right? We want you to do we want you to do the video portion, and we're going to have you change the name." And so, if we call it "Screw You Guys," you can get rid of me and Ted. Say you came up with it. You have video evidence. Sue us. The next thing you're making money doing this all by yourself.
That wouldn't be right.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Okay, I know you got to go. Before you get away, 1 or 2 more. Cleveland Indians. Okay, Cleveland Indians. There's a lot of controversy going on. Okay, you ready? Ted, Fred. Will the Indians trade Lindor?
You asking me?
Yeah, do you think they're going to trade
You know
Lindor?
what? I don't watch too much baseball, so I don't really know what's going on.
You don't know that he wants like a $400 million contract, right?
No.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he wants like
How much time does he have left on this contract?
2 years.
2 years?
And then, but he's arbitration eligible in 2021, and they already traded Kluber. They traded Kluber, and somebody else was not getting signed. And they said if they trade Lindor, their payroll could be $40 million less next year. So
how much does Lindor make now?
Right now, Lindor signed the contract when he was like 19 years old. And so this year he makes like $9 million, like this year that just ended. Next year he makes like $12 million, and then he'll be arbitration eligible for $15 million in 2 years. and he supposedly he wants 12 years. Yeah, he's like 28 years old. He wants 12 years, 400 million or something.
I already
like
know
that.
what my answer is.
They're gonna give him that.
Well, no, I know they're not going to give him that. So, but people are saying you could keep him next year, and then keep him for his arbitration year, and not trade him, right? But then you won't get anything for him. He just walks away in free agency.
Yeah.
Right? So my thing is, will the Indians trade Lindor, and then I'll put 2019, spring of 2020. And I already have my answer. They are shopping him hard. I think they are trading Lindor.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to trade Lindor?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think they're going to trade Lindor?
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Because
Now-
anybody good they have, they always any Cleveland team doesn't matter. They always end up getting the really good players.
Now, part two. Part two, same thing. When they traded Kluber, do you know what they got?
They got like what they get like 2 guys.
They got a guy who was the number 30 prospect in whatever organization they traded with, right? But he could throw 100 miles an hour. And then
it was Texas, right?
Yeah. And then they got an outfielder who hit 240 but is a good major league prospect.
Yeah.
So they literally got magic beans. Okay? So part two is say you trade Lindor. He's the face of your franchise for the last 10 years. What do you think they would get for Lindor? Now, I'm going to let you two think about it. I'm going to say right now what I think they'll get, okay? I think if they trade Lindor, which I already predicted they will get average relief pitcher, okay? Average relief pitcher. And I'm not saying who they're trading it to, just say hypothetically the Dodgers. Average relief pitcher. They will get 1 AA prospect and 2 AA prospects. So they'll get 1 major leaguer who's average, a relief pitcher, because I think they're going to get rid of Brad Hand. Is that the guy?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to get rid of Hand, and then I think they're going to get Magic Beans. So Ted, they trade Lindor. What do they trade Lindor for? Not what you would trade him for. What do you think they would get?
I think it'll be prospects.
Okay. What kind of you think they're getting 4 single A prospects?
No, I think they'll get like 2 AAA.
2. Okay, I'll put triple A's right here. Triple A, 2. And do you think you get 1 AA, 1 single A?
I'll say 1 AA.
1 AA. Okay. Joe, what do you think they'll trade Lindor
Oh,
for?
I don't really care. I'm not a baseball fan. I don't know.
What are you talking? Look at this shirt.
This is a present.
He's got an
Free
Indian
gift.
shirt right there.
That's why I was State and Cavs
Look
and Browns.
Listen. I had the
Probably a bag of bats and some baseballs.
Okay, we're gonna put equipment.
I say some pitchers.
Equipment. Maybe some pitchers.
Quit.
Maybe some pitchers. Listen, I had to bribe Ted Coley to keep doing Beacon of Speech this year, okay?
Why, you want it out?
Because I got to keep him happy. I got to keep him happy. Because he's not getting
I
real
was
money.
looking for another show.
Someone that actually paid you.
That would be hysterical. I'm being dead serious here. That'd be funny if Trevisano came across our show and he's like, you know what? I don't like the way that Fred talks all the time, but I kind of like Ted's sense of humor. And they hired Ted away from the show. I'd be like, God damn it. I'd be like, that'd be my luck,
We
too.
don't need you, Fred. I want Ted.
I could see that happening, though, because don't forget when they hired, what was it, Ratto? They said when they hired Paul Ratto said he would do the Art Modell voice, and that was basically all he did,
Yeah.
right? And then you find out after they got rid of him, he was writing half the skits. Like, he would write the skits and give to Trevisano. And that's why Trevisano kept him around. It wasn't worth keeping him around just to do the Art Modell voice,
Yeah.
right? So let's just say I'm running the long con, right? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm getting rid of Ted. I'm going to work on the Triv show. I'm going to do the Putin voice, right?
Fred.
Oh, I am honored that you would think that they would steal me away. Right? So if I'm doing the Putin voice, I would not still be able to work at the Triv show they would still want me to write. They would still want me to, sub. They would still want me to do a bunch of stuff. And then when they're like, hey, do you want to take over for Triv? Triv would be like, screw Fred Hunt. He never had any talent. Throw him overboard like they did to Paul Rado. He'd be like, I'll write my own stuff. And then, he'll talk about things he talked about 15 years ago, but they forgot about. So before I forget about the Indians, right behind you, above your head, there's Carlos Santana, okay?
Yeah.
We love Carlos Santana. You see what I covered right here? See this right here? That was a gift from me to Ted. You know what player that is? I'll let you look at the helmet.
No. Who? Oh my gosh, really?
It's Cocoa Crisp. They had Cocoa Crisp Day at the Lake Erie Crushers, right?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, so I gave that to Ted. I kept one for me, gave one to Ted, right? The very next day, what were they on sale for on eBay?
Wasn't it like $4 or $5 or something like that?
I thought it was like 15 or 20. But anyhow, so those went on sale on eBay. They're for like $20. I'm like, if I would know they were $20, I would have kept that. I would have given it to Ted. I would have sold it on eBay. That was
Make some money and
$20.
Put it into Beacon of Speech.
All right, I'm getting a beep. Oh no.
Time to go home. You're in
Please.
trouble.
Oh yeah, this is my order for when you come home. Okay. Before we let you go, we'll finish the Indians. We'll let you go. Indians, you don't follow the Indians. This year
No,
they
not
missed the
really.
playoffs by about this much.
Yeah, it was very.
Maybe this much. Okay. Next year, when they shed $40 million in payroll, excuse me, when they shed $40 million in payroll, do you have a prediction for Indians records?
No.
Joe does not follow baseball.
My prediction is they'll be 80 and 82.
Oh, I think the bottom's going out next school year. 80 and 82. I think we are looking at 60 and 102 next year.
Oh wow!
I
That's a
think
bad season.
I think they are going to trade Lindor. People are going to be furious, and then they're going to be like, you know what?
They're gonna suck like the Browns.
Yeah,
this year, huh?
They're going to say, you know what? You yelled at us for trading Lindor. We're trading everybody. Joe's got to go. It's 6:16. Walk
Is it
into
really? You guys
yeah.
coming into work though, right?
What was that?
You guys are coming to work for me, right?
No, I'm getting orders on my phone.
I don't want to go to work.
Walk Joe to the door. We'll finish this up. This is Joe Kaufman. We love Joe Kaufman.
Be
Joe
back in another
Kaufman, it
year.
is great to see you.
Hey.
Joe Kaufman, next year our goal is to get paid.
Oh, that sounds
Joe,
good.
you want to make a prediction? Are we getting paid next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a lot of money for showing up one day a year.
No, if we get paid, you're coming more than
I
one.
still have to come to work.
You got to come to Beacon of Speech. I don't care about your other job.
Once a year? And just get paid for it?
Listen, I am moving chairs. Ted, you come back. Joe Kaufman, we love you.
See you later.
We love you, Joe Kaufman. All right, we're switching chairs. Our next topic is going to be Van Halen. Van Halen. All right, what happened with Van Halen this week? Well, this week, okay, let me turn off my phone. This week, Kiss announced that David Lee Roth was going to be their opening band for their final tour. Okay, so now what is Kiss going to, I guess for your entertainment dollar, Kiss wants David Lee Roth to come and play Van Halen music. Now, I hear the guys at the door. Are you guys making fun of me in there? All right, we used to, me and Ted, and he'll be back. Me and Ted used to listen to Howard Stern show all the time. And it's funny because Howard Stern would get aggravated because he'd be doing the show, but he'd have people in the green room. And in the green room, every once in a while, I think it was Benji, they say there's a show outside the show. And they said, maybe you should turn the cameras on the second show. At this point, the show in the kitchen is better than the show right here. But I was going to say, Ted's back.
I'm back.
Classic rock. This week, Kiss announced that they're going on, you ready for air quotes? Their final tour.
What are
Okay,
they all about? 70?
they're like 68, 70.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons talked about keep moving on in the future with no original members. They would just collect checks that said Kiss because they own the copyright, they own the makeup, the creatures on the makeup. There's a lot of fan backlash. Now they're like, no, we're not going to do that. But in the future, they would be open to musicians playing their music and then them cashing checks. Isn't that awful nice of them?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they picked David Lee Roth to go out on their tour. When is the last time me and you talked about David Lee Roth?
Kiss picked David Lee Roth, what?
To be
As
their
the
opening. Yeah. When is the last time we talked about David Lee Roth? Ted Coley?
Wasn't it last Beacon of Speech?
It was last week in the speech. David Lee Roth is a constant source of material for our show. Now, why in the world did they pick David Lee Roth? You know, how many times can you sing just A Gigolo? Right?
Why did they pick him?
Yeah, why did they pick him?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, the David Lee Roth Kiss tour is going to be better than Van Halen. How is that, Ted Coley? Now, again, remember, we're talking about David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth, how is this David Lee Roth tour going to be better than a Van Halen touring?
I don't know. Is Kiss gonna play with him on some of the songs?
No, even better. And I'm not kidding about this explanation. Okay? David Lee Roth says that there's 4 people in Van Halen. And Eddie Van Halen is very adamant that there's only 4 people in Van Halen, right? It's him and Alex, right?
Alex.
And Wolfgang, because, you know, screw that guy, Michael Anthony. And then, of course, David Lee Roth, right? And so David Lee Roth says, you know what? I don't want just 4 old guys playing, right? What I want to do is I want a bunch of musicians on the stage, and we're not going to be like Van Halen. We're going to be like Van Halen on the records, where there's a rich sound, and I'm going to have a stage full of musicians. Doesn't that sound much better, right? So David Lee Roth is going to make the David Lee Roth tour better by getting rid of Eddie, Alex, Wolfgang, and Michael Anthony and hiring more musicians. So they'll have like 7, 8 guys on the stage.
Maybe he can do like Roger Daltrey and like tour with the different orchestras.
Well, that's where he's going with. He said that they'll have a richer album sound. It won't be 4 guys playing music because he goes, now that the other guys are getting older, the sound is a little thinner.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't as thick, and you know what I'm talking about by a thin sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wants a thicker touring sound, and instead of having 1 bass guitarist, maybe he'll have 2 bass guitarists. And instead of having 1 lead guitarist, maybe he'll have 2 lead guitarists. Right? And he's like, I'm hammering out the details, but it would be the music of Van Halen, but better. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy is turning into such an a-hole. It's like, no wonder David Lee Roth and Gene Simmons like are touring their last tour. Like, we are going to hold you upside down and shake every single nickel out of our fans.
Yeah, it sounds like they're the same guy.
Yeah, yeah. And again, you know, we were joking around about throwing people under the bus, right? But there's nothing like throwing Eddie Van Halen under the bus, who's got, you know, arguably one of the best guitar players. Would you say one of the best of all time? And saying, yeah, we're just going to bring on 2 musicians and it'll be better. No, I think I would rather see Eddie Van Halen. Now, Alex, on the other hand, I haven't seen a ton of, you know, Alex is great, but I understand he's a good drummer. Right? So for all I know, David Lee Roth wants, you know, he's going to turn it into Ministry where he's got 5 guitars and 2 drummers back there. But he's like, oh, well, the Van Halen fans want to see Alex. Yeah, because that's Van Halen. Mm-hmm. And it's like almost insulting what they try to sell you, right? But it's not just Van Halen. It's not just David Lee Roth. It's not just Kiss. It's everything. You know, we can go back to the Toilets, where it's like, it's very insulting, right? That they're like, we want you to keep your poops to under 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Everything nowadays you almost have to have disbelief.
when you were explaining that toilet to me, for some reason I thought it slowly stood you up.
No, right from the start it leans.
Yeah.
It's
So
permanent
it
porcelain.
doesn't move. It's just tilted that way.
Right.
It doesn't go up and down.
Right. But Joe brought up great points, right? What are you going to do about handicapped people, right? Well, that's the whole issue. Even if you're handicapped, right, you can hop on the toilet seat, right, and you can do your business in 2 or 3 minutes, right? You can still kind of prop up against the bars, right? But you're gonna, if you're handicapped and you're leaning forward, you're gonna have to really do a lot of number. And say you're holding the bars right here. You can't see my right hand, right? But you're holding the bars. Okay, I got a dirty ass. Okay. Well, here's my hands right here on the bar. So how in the hell am I wiping my ass? Okay, does the leaning toilet have a bidet on it? You see, so Joe in his very delicate way, he's like, there's no way they can do it. Well, yes, they can, right? Because you can prop yourself up. It's like anything that, you talk about. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm like, everything seems to aggravate me in a weird way. So I did not mean to talk about toilets for half an hour with Joe. Joe's he's gonna go to work and he's gonna be like, yeah, they want me to do Beacon of Speech. I expected to do ABC, and they talk about toilets for half an hour. Why the hell did I go over there? Those guys are idiots. No wonder nobody's listening, right?
So Joe did not make a prediction on the Indians' record next year?
No, he says he doesn't care about baseball. Which isn't true because the shirt, the next thing we were going to ask was about Cavs. So we'll wait about that for next time. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here because we might not see Joe till next year. Like, you'll see him, but I might not see him. I love Joe. Hand me those two. Let me throw them in our prediction things.
These?
Yeah. So I don't forget. We got November. What have we got for November? Oh, I should ask them about the election. Okay, so we're going to put the Indians in here. We're going to put the Browns in here. And I really hope that they don't start 0-6 next year. I hope Joe's wrong about that. He was like seriously bumming me out when he was talking about that. I'm like, oh, please, you cannot be serious right now. Okay, this is 2020. I got to make sure there's no 2019. Tulsi. Oh, yeah, this is 2020. Okay, 1920. Let me make sure we didn't miss anything here. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good for 2020. So was Joe glad he came? He's got to go to work. Was he like, am I still on crack? Or Putin made a quick appearance, right? And I didn't even do the Putin voice right because I'm not used to doing it in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, you do it in front of me.
I do it in front of you. I meant other people. I'm sorry. No, you are people. I don't want to insult you. You're, like I said, when I die, you're taking it over. You're
You're leaving this to me.
Yeah, you get nothing. I'm sorry. When I die, we talk about this way too much. But when I die, I might as well just leave you this sheet of paper. See this worthless sheet of paper? That's what you're getting from me. Okay? Now, when Ted dies, this is going to be totally different. Because when Ted dies, he probably has it in his will to kill me. Because I'm the one who put him in the grave. Okay? Because right now, look at Ted. Ted's fairly healthy, right? Ted's a healthy guy. The person who's been having health problems this year is me. And I even showed Joe Kaufman, and I showed you guys this once on Beacon of Speech. I got the hearing aids, right? And
oh, you did show that to Joe?
Yeah, I showed that to Joe. He seemed very surprised, like, holy cow.
I don't know. I thought I told him that.
Well, I'm telling you you know what Joe's thinking. He's like, oh, you got hearing aids from listening to loud music and yelling at it all the time? What a shock. So, but we only did 2 of the predictions. We talked about the toilet. We talked about David Lee Roth. I changed the outline, but what we'll do is next week, maybe we'll do Cavs.
Oh, we're not going to do those now?
No, we'll wait because what I'll do is I may send Joe an email and say, hey, we didn't get to do Cavs. You want to do Cavs? Because I know Joe likes the Cavs, and because it's 6:30, I got to roll too. But my favorite, I shouldn't say my favorite, one of my favorite Joe stories I've talked on Beacon's speech multiple times is, do you remember the parade when the Cavs won the thing? Right? And you already know the story. Joe Kaufman, we're like, oh, we watched it on TV. It was awesome. It was awesome. Joe Kaufman's like, no, that sucked. And I go, what do you mean that sucked? He goes, there was a shooting. I said, I didn't hear about a shooting, right? You heard about it.
Yeah, I heard.
There was a shooting. And they're like, well, they didn't want to publicize there was a shooting at the championship parade because it'll make the people in Cleveland look like idiots. But he told me the story, and then I got it verified. It wasn't on Cleveland.com. It was like on Scene Magazine. And they're like, underreported story. There was a shooting away from the parade. No. It was like literally, it was down the alley from the parade. You know what I mean? So Joe Kaufman told me that story, and I'm like, listen, there's 1 million people in downtown Cleveland, and you're in the alley with the shooter. And how many people were there? He's like, well, in the alley we were at, there was about 15, 20 people, and they all ran. So I'm like, your chances of seeing that shooter are literally 20 out of 1 million. That's still terrible odds. And then he got all mad at me, like, oh, right? But so I always think of Joe and the shooting, so I know he likes the Cavs. So we'll wait on the Cavs predictions. So on that happy note, I'm Fred Hunt. That's Ted Coley. I took too much time at the pre-Beacon of Speech. Would you say that's fair? I wouldn't be quiet. And so we'll be back in the next week or two, Fred and Ted. I already have some of the stuff that we pushed from this week. And Ted, I appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year to you. And next year, here's hoping to me and you get money for Beacon of Speech.